Hello YouTube! Welcome to D&D Daily. My name is Sage. Today I'm going to be doing a deep dive into the new Bugbear that came from Monsters of the Multiverse. This is a very hot topic right now, and so I'm lucky enough to have it line up with my list of characters to do, so let's jump into it. Neither bugs nor bears. Bugbears are the hulking cousins of goblins and hobgoblins. With roots in the Feywild, early bugbears resided in hidden places and hard-to-reach and shadowed spaces. Long ago, from out of the corner of your eye, they came to the material plane, urged to spread throughout the multiverse by the conquering god Bugbear. Centuries later, they still bear a fey gift for lurking just out of sight, and many of them have sneaked away from the god's influence. They are long of limb and covered in coarse hair, with wedge-shaped ears and pointed teeth. Despite their formidable build, bugbears are quiet skulkers, thanks to a fey magic that allows them to hide in spaces seemingly too small for them. As a bugbear, you have the following racial traits. You're a humanoid. You're also considered a goblinoid for any prerequisite or effect that requires you to be a goblinoid. Your size is medium, your walking speed is 30 feet, you have dark vision out to 60 feet, you have an ability called Fey Ancestry, you have advantage on saving throws you make to avoid or end the charmed condition on yourself. Long-limbed. When you make a melee attack on your turn, your reach for it is 5 feet greater than normal. Powerful build. You count as one size larger when determining your carrying capacity and the weight you can push, drag, or lift. Sneaky. You are proficient in the stealth skill. In addition, without squeezing, you can move through and stop in a space large enough for a small creature. Surprise attack. If you hit a creature with an attack roll, the creature takes an extra 2d6 damage if it hasn't taken a turn yet in the current combat. Now, surprise attack is the biggest standout feature that is, the hot topic right now. Why is it such a big deal? Well, if you can do a build around doing a lot of attacks on your first turn and having really good initiative, you can absolutely do nuke levels of damage. So let's think about this for a second. We take a fighter, well, let's go with Echo Knight. Okay, so the Echo Knight, let's say we're level 8. We have 5 levels in fighter. So we have attack, extra attack, and then we have our Unleashed Incarnation, gives us an extra attack. Okay, so that's 3 attacks right there. And then let's say we have a 3-level dip into Gloomstalker for the extra attack on top of that, so now we have 4 attacks. And then we also have, our initiative bonuses, and we potentially are creating advantage because of our stealthiness that comes with being a Gloomstalker. Okay, and then we now do Action Surge, and we're able to do 4 more attacks. And if we have been using a hand crossbow for this, and we have the crossbow expert feat, then we get a bonus action attack on top of this. So that's 9 attacks. Now, when you take those 9 attacks and maybe you add advantage on them, a lot of them are going to be hitting and doing their damage, but that 2d6 stacked that many times can become absurd very quick. Long story short, we're going to see a lot more bugbears coming into the game. A lot of them are going to be revolving around Gloomstalker-esque builds, where you're getting a lot of attacks off really early. So for me, it's a build, I think it could be overtuned. I think it could be too easy to optimize in one specific path. That we're going to see a lot of characters that are similar because they're all following this line of thinking of how can we get so many attacks at first of initiative, right? Which kind of forces a lot of character decisions into very, very small groups. And so we'll probably see a lot more Gloomstalkers and mixed with fighters and potentially throwing some assassin in there, But so yeah, I can see how people are saying it's problematic. I think that's fair. Overall, I'm not too stressed about it. That is a lot of resources pulled into kind of one play. And so if a character's built around that, sure, they can have their really big turns, but they're going to have a lot of kind of downtime turns too, potentially. I think some other interesting things you can pull off with bugbears is that they're long-limbed, so you can attack from an extra 5 feet of range, and if you're using an already reach weapon, you can go up to 15 feet to do some pretty, ranged base melee attacks, which is kind of neat. Combine that with, Polearm Master, and then when they have to close the distance to attack you, now you get an opportunity attack. And combine that with Sentinel, and you can be kind of pretty good at controlling people. Though do note that if you have Sentinel, it will not work with long-limbed. Your reach will be 10 feet, because it's when you make a melee attack on your turn. So when it's your opponent's turn and you're getting opportunity attacks, you will not get the benefits of long-limbed. I really do like how bugbears are big and sneaky. That's kind of their niche, is that you can be these really strength big guys but still be sneaky dexterous guys. But I really feel like what's going to define why people are choosing bugbears is it's going to be for martial reasons. The more attacks you get, the bigger your reach is with your martial weapons, the more advantages you're getting with Bugbear. So I think you're going to see martials take Bugbear fairly often, and I think it's going to be very rare for you to see spellcasting Bugbears, which makes me want to build the spellcasting Bugbear. Yeah, past that, it's just going over a couple of their notable features. Being strong against the charmed condition is fantastic. Getting proficiency in stealth is probably the best proficiency you can get. Being able to go into smaller areas is a very niche thing, but it's also, again, really good for martials. Take your heavy weapons into a goblin's cavern and not having disadvantage. Oh, that's something. And then powerful build, being able to lift and carry stuff, kind of suggests maybe we try and do some grappling type things. Anyways, I do like Bugbears. I think they're really cool. I think the surprise attack may be overtuned. I think that's fair that people are talking about it. And I do think it's built for martials over casters. And that's kind of my end theory of the current Bugbear. But what is your guys' end theory? What did I miss? What other use cases do you see with the Bugbear, and how would you use it in your game? Let me know in the comments down below. We are D&D Daily. We release new D&D content every single day, so if that's interesting to you, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you on the next one. Peace!